Radhikaya Radhikaya Dadale Krishnaya Krishnotaya Pattaya Namo Neham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanam Pravaram Brajarasasikam Charanarayanam Tam Shri Guru Charanam Mande Ramana Vistaya Bhutale Rupanu Vakadam Charanamurti Narayan Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudakshamodalya Madhurya Vadeshchetam Param Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shri Sadhava Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupadadamayam Tadadi Sapadamikam Dhanasthiram Yante Idam Yache Purapura Srimad Rupa Padam Vidatu Vishama Janma Vairagya Yuk Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Vayamam Advitsamandam Kribam Buddhivya Paradukha Dukhi Sanatanam Tam Prabhu Ashrayami Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jai Rup Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhakta Dasa Raghunath Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Sastanga Dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of our spiritual masters. Vitla Vishtam Vishnupad Stotra Sada Shri Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev. Vitla Vishtam Vishnupad Stotra Sada Shri Bhaktivedanta Bham Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev. The entire Rupana Gauri Guruvarga, to all the devotees and Yasgan and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present today. So we'll continue reading and discussing from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Maharaj, what do you remember from the previous class that we studied? Okay. So what we heard previously was that when Krishna was dressed as Gopal by Baladev Prabhu, Baladev Prabhu, he dressed Krishna as Brajendranandan Shamsundar. He put this peak of feather on his head, his flute near his waist, put his bugle horn, and he sent him there to Vrindavan. So then Krishna took some butter from Mother Yashoda's hand and he told his mother about this strange dream that he had. He said, "Oh mother, in this previous dream that I had last night, I went to Mathura. I went to Dwarika. There I married 16,000 women, I had so many children, so many grandchildren. But now this strange dream is finished. Now I'm back to Braj. Because this is the nature of Prem, this is the speciality of Prem, that wherever a person is loved, he will return to that place. No, wherever a person is loved. Krishna, where is he loved the most? He is loved in Vrindavan, in Braj Bhumi. So why will he even think of leaving Braj and staying in Mathura and Dwarka? The question arises. Why would he want to leave this land of Prem, this Prem-moy Bhumi? What is so special about Braj? Every particle of dust here in Braj Bhumi reminds Krishna of Srimati Radhika. Every particle of dust. Braj is called Radha Padankita Bhumi. It is imprinted with the footprints of Srimati Radhika. So he doesn't want to leave Braj. But still, as we know, in Prakat Leela, he does leave Braj to some extent. Why? Why such viraha? So because such viraha leads to milan. Like we know that viraha is of different kinds. Vishesh Rupena Raha means a special form of meeting is Viraha. Like when we say Vairagya, means Vishesh Rupena Anurag. What is Rag? Ishta is Sarasiki Rag. Parama Vishtita Bhave. Tanmayo Bhavet Bhakti Satta Ragatmiko Dita. Ishta is Sarasiki Bhavet. Here this desire, this thirst to satisfy one's Ishtadev. Tanmaya Bhavet Bhakti. When there is so much tanmayata, so much absorption, then it is called Satta Ragatmiko Dita. This rag is the symptom of this Mahabhav. This desire to serve Krishna appears in newer and newer ways and newer forms. Like sometimes Srimati Radhika, she looks at Krishna and she feels she has never seen him in the first place. Like sometimes she tells Lalita, oh Lalita, I am very unchaste. So then Lalita says, why? Because I have fallen in love with 3 different personalities. Lalita says, how is that possible? So then Radharani says, first I was looking at this boy playing on his flute near Giriraj. Near Giriraj Govardhan there was this boy playing on his flute, and I looked at him and I was so enchanted by his beauty. My eyes were only transfixed at his beautiful form. So that was the first personality I fell in love with. And who was the second personality? Chitra, one of the Ashtasakis. She is very expert in painting, in painting pictures. So in one picture, there was an image of Krishna playing on his flute. So then, Radharani looked at this picture of Krishna that Chitra had painted, and she fell in love with him as well. So this is the second personality that I have prayed for. And then there's a third personality. Who is that third personality? He who has the name Shyam. So one of my Sakhis, she told me that this Shyam is so beautiful. So as soon as these 2 syllables, Shyama, entered my ears, I became unconscious. So here I see Lalita, I fall in love with 3 different boys, Kumars. The one I saw with my own eyes, the one I heard about by my ears, and the one I saw in the painting, the picture. So I'm very unchaste. Then Lalita, she tells Radharani, those 3 personalities are the same. They are the same personality, your Shyam Sundar. Your Shyam Sundar, Lalita says. Why your Shyam Sundar? Because Radharani, she has Madhya Bhav towards Krishna. What is this Madhya Bhav? Means Krishna is mine. Tadya Bhav is, I am Krishna's. This Chandravali has. But Radharani has the mood that Krishna, he is mine. That is why he is so controlled by Radharani. So then Lalita, she told Srimati Radhika that just last night you were lying on his lap and he was caressing your head, sometimes even massaging your feet, asking for forgiveness because he didn't meet you at the proper time in one of the kunjas. So it was that same person. So this is the symptom of Anurag. When Rag reaches an even greater stage, it is Anurag. So here we must know that when we speak of Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Rud, Adirud, Modan, Madan, here we must know that actually it is Prem itself which is known by these different names. It is Prem. We must not think that Prem transforms into Sneha and Sneha transforms into Man. Man transforms into Pranay. It is not the case here. It is the same thing. Like Gurudev gives that example, no? You have that good jaggery. Like jaggery sometimes, when it is solidified, what does it become? When it assumes a form from its liquid state, what is it called? And then when sugar becomes more refined, and then when it becomes more refined, rock candy. So ultimately the basic constituent is gold, is jaggery, just known by different names. But even in this case, if you see, it is transformed. Why? Because first it is in its liquid state, and then it becomes into a solid state, and then it becomes more refined, and then it becomes more refined, more refined. So actually it transforms you. But in the case of this prem that the Brajavasis have for Krishna, it doesn't transform. Rather, what happens? It only assumes a more superlative form of prem. More superlative, more superlative. Good, better, best, more best, more best. And the quintessence of this prem, quintessence means the very essence, the most highest degree of prem that one can possibly imagine is called Madanakya Mahabhav. That only Srimati Radhika has. Only she possesses this Madanakya Mahabhav. So because of this Madanakya Mahabhav, Radharani, although she is lying on the lap of Krishna the whole night, although she is thinking about Krishna the whole day, she is always feeling that she has never seen Krishna in the first place. This is prem. So Lalita, she is reminding Radharani that it is the same personality. Your Brajendranandan Shyam Sundar. So here we see Brajabhumi is like suffused with all these bhavs of Srimati Radhika. It is full of these bhavs of Radharani. So why would Krishna want to leave? Why would he want to be in Mathura, where they have prem, but not the same prem as the Brajavasis? Like we see in Mathura, there is Kubja. Who is Kubja? She was Shurpanaka previously. She wanted to be Ram's wife, but Ram, he rejected her. Ram said, no, I am Ek Patnadhari. I made this vow, this promise, I only have one wife, and that is Sita. So then, I cannot accept you. So then, when Shurpanaka wanted to attack Sita, then Ram, he told Lakshman to cut Shurpanaka's ears and nose. What did he do? He disfigured her. He disfigured her. Why? Because Ram thought once she has offered herself to me, she should not be enjoyed by anyone else. Now she will always be mine. So this is Bhagavan. Once, if just once, one says, Prabhu, I am yours, you are mine. Even if he doesn't, even if he is not so sincere, even if he cannot do so, still, if even the slightest form of that bhav is present, our Guru Varga says, go in front of Thakurji and just say that. You are mine, I am yours, I know nothing else. And Krishna is bound to accept. So here we see Shurpanaka, she spoke the same words to Ram. You are mine, I am yours. So in her next life, she became Kubja. And Kubja was a hunchback lady. She couldn't walk so nicely, but she was very beautiful. Although she was a hunchback, Kubadi, she was a very beautiful lady. So no one desired to enjoy her, because she was a hunchback. So what was her seva? She would paste sandalwood, and she would take this chandan and she would send it to Kansa. So the day that Krishna came to Mathura, first he went to this washerman. He had all the clothes of Kansa. He told him, can you give these clothes to my sakhas, to my friends? He said, who are you? Yes, a useless coward boy. These clothes are for Kansa. You have no sense. Go from here, he told Krishna. All these coward boys, they have no business coming here to Mathura in the first place. And they're disturbing me. Go from here. So then who was this person? This was the same person who in Ram's Leela chastised his wife. Saying, you think I'm like Ram, who will accept his wife even after she's away from home for 1 year? Because his wife was away somewhere else for the previous time, in some relative's house without telling him. So because of him, Sita was sent to the forest. So that was the same washerman here also. So now Krishna, he did not forget what he had spoken in his previous Leela. So what did he do? He gave him the death chop. In that, separated his neck from his body. Killed him. That washerman. So then, Krishna and the Sakhas, anyhow, they dressed themselves with those clothes of Kansa, and then they went to Kubja. And there was also one person who was making garlands. So he saw Krishna and he was very happy. So he garlanded all the Sakhas of Krishna. And then there was another person. Then they went to Kubja, who was the last. So then Kubja, she took this chandan and she smeared it all over Krishna, saying, oh, this chandan is only meant for you, not for the Rakshas. Kansa, not for him, only for you. And she anointed him. And Krishna was so happy. What did he do? He touched her chin, and because she was hunchback, he just slightly raised her chin up and made her erect. She stood tall. And when she stood tall, she was like one of the most beautiful women in the world. And Kubja, what did she do? Immediately she tugged on Krishna's cloth. We should enjoy with each other. Baladev Prabhu, he was nearby. So when he saw this, he was very ashamed. He did not like this. So he left. So then Krishna, he told Kubja, I'll satisfy her desire, but later. So here we see Kubja, her rati is called Sadharan rati. Sadharan rati means very general form of praying. But still, because her rati, the desire to satisfy her senses, she wanted only Krishna to satisfy her senses, not anyone else. Therefore her rati is classified as prem. Or else how can it be called prem? It is not even prem, it is calm. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, what does Srila Kaviraj Goswami said? Atmendriya priti cha tare boli kam. And Krishnendriya priti vancha dhare prem nam. So Atmendriya priti cha tare boli kam means the desire to satisfy one's own senses is called kam. And Krishnendriya priti vancha dhare prem nam. And the desire to satisfy Krishna's senses is called prem. Kam prem bahut antar. Kam andatama prem nirmal bhaskar. Kaviraj Goswami is saying there is a difference between heaven and hell when you think of Kam and prem. Bahut antar. Kam andatama prem nirmal bhaskar. Kam is like the grossest form of ignorance. And prem is like the spotless sun, nirmal bhaskar. But still here, because Kubja's calm is towards Krishna, it is also prem. But sadhara means very general. So here we see the Mathuravasis, they have such kind of prem. And then we see that there are even more advanced devotees in Mathura, means like ladies. And their prem towards Krishna is even greater. Why? Because they desire to have the anugatya of the gopis. Because when Krishna entered the wrestling arena of Kansa, then all these women of Braj, of Mathura, they said, how fortunate the gopis are. What kind of austerities have they performed that they always see Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan. We are not so fortunate. Why? Because here we see that Krishna is going to wrestle with this Chanur, Mushtik, Shal, Toshal. And each of these wrestlers is like as huge as a mountain. And Krishna and Baladev are very fragile, coward boys. They're going to wrestle with them. And we have to see this very disgusting sight. But the gopis, they are so fortunate. They're always dancing with Krishna, singing with him, enjoying many kinds of leelas with him. So how fortunate they are. So therefore, what kind of austerities have they performed? We also desire to perform the same kind of austerities. So here you see there is Anugatya. There is guidance. Here the Mathura Ramanis, they desire to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. But you see that mood of Anugatya is lacking in Kubja. There is no verse or no prayer where Kubja has prayed to the gopis. So here in Mathura, that prem is certainly not equal to the prem found in Braja, in Vrindavan. So why did Krishna go there then? Why did he stay there for so many years? Why did he take all the Mathuravasis to Dwarika as well? Because through his Naravat Leela, he wanted to show everyone, he wanted to show every person how glorious the Brajavasis are. That in spite of being separated from him for more than 100 years, after 100 years they met Krishna at Kurukshetra. So in spite of such long separation, still their prem for Krishna never decreased even a little bit. It kept increasing more and more, more and more. And Krishna is showing everyone, just see how glorious my Brajavasis are. So therefore he left Braj. But still, although he left Braj, he was always appearing as a spurti to all the gopis, to Radha, Dalita, Vishaka, and he would pacify them. Like sometimes Radharani would be weeping so much. And when she would be weeping, what would Krishna do? He would appear as a spurti. He would take his pitambar and he would wipe the tears away from Radharani's eyes. And he would speak very sweet words to her. Or else, if Krishna would not appear as a spurti, Could the gopis have maintained their lives? Certainly not. They would have given up their lives as soon as Krishna left Braj. That day itself, the gopis and all the Brajavasis would have given up their lives. But they couldn't. Why? Because their lives were at Krishna. Krishna was the resting place of their lives. He was maintaining their lives. That is why they did not die. Or else if their lives were present within their own forms, within their own bodies, they would have left the moment that Krishna left Braj to go to Mathura. So in this way, this separation leads to meeting. Vishesh Rupena Raha Viraha Vipralamba Vishesh Rupena Pralamba. So we say that separation is of four kinds. First, there is Purvarag. And then there is Man. And then there is Prem Vaichitya. And then there is Pravas. Because if you really, we are so proud of being the followers, the disciples of Gurudev. But unless and until we go deep into Ujjal Leelamani, unless and until we go deep into the third division of Jaiva Dharma, then we cannot really know what Gurudev has come to give to this world. How is he Yogacharya? What has he come to give to this world? For this, you'll have to go deep into Ujjal Leelamani. There, Rupa Goswami is described. What is Purvarag? Purvarag means even before the gopis have not actually seen Krishna, they feel some separation from him. Like Purvarag is described in Venugit. In Venugit, Krishna is in the forest, and all the gopis are describing their separation from him. They're saying, oh, if we could be like the Yamuna, then we could have embraced Krishna. Because Krishna is always bathing in the Yamuna, and Yamuna is offering so many flowers at Krishna, so to speak. And sometimes she becomes very shy. If we could be like the clouds, then we could provide shade for Krishna. If we could be like the trees, then we could give fruits and honey for Krishna. If we could be like the creepers, then we could give flowers for Krishna. If we could be the grass, then Krishna would step on us and we'd feel so happy. If we could be like these Pulindi Kanyas, these tribal girls, what do? They take this kumkum from the grass early in the morning, because early in the morning there is some dew on the grass. It is called Osh Bindu in Hindi. There is some dew on the grass, and what do these girls do? These Pulindi Kanyas, they take their kumkum, which is wet. It is not dry, because it is mixed with the water on the grass, and they smear it on their chests. And in this way, whatever calm tap they have, whatever separation they are feeling from Krishna, this heat, this fire of separation, it is being cooled, pacified. So the Radharani and all the gopis are saying, if we could only be like the Pulinda Kanyas. But where did that kumkum come from? Where did it come from? It came from the chest of Srimati Radhika herself and all the other gopis. Because sometimes the gopis, they hold Krishna, so to speak, to their chest very tightly. They say that Krishna, your feet are so soft. We cannot bear to see your feet going all over Brajamandal, because there are so many stones, pebbles, thorns. Our own chest is so hard and we are so fearful that when we place your feet on our chest, it may give pain to you, but still, nonetheless, we place your feet on our chest. Why? Because now at least we can keep you in one place and you don't have to run behind these cows here and there. So that time the kumkum from Radharani's chest, from the gopis' chest, it gets smeared on the soles of Krishna's feet. His feet become reddish. And then as Krishna returns to Nandagaon from the Kunjas, then what happens? The kumkum falls on the grass. And then the Pulindi Kanyas, the girls who live in the forest, they are very intelligent. When they see this, they realize, oh, this kumkum has come from Krishna, so to speak, from the chest of any gopi. And immediately they take that kumkum and they smear themselves with this kumkum. What is this kumkum? This is Anurag. This is the very form of the gopis' Anurag which is taken, which has appeared as that kumkum. And these Pulindi Kanyas, Gurudev, he has said that in their next lives, they become gopis. It's Pulindi Kanyas. So they are also like how the Sadhan Siddhas. Now the Sadhan Siddhas, they associate with the gopis in Krishna's Prakat Leela and in Aprakat Leela, they also become Radhaknik. So similarly, these Pulindi Kanyas also, in this life, they associate with all these gopis. In the next life, they also become one of them. And so here in the Purvarag, the gopis are saying, if we could only be like the Pulindi Kanyas, if we could be like these cows, because these cows, when Krishna plays on his flute, what happens? Their ears, they stand upright, and through their ears, they drink this sound of Krishna's flute. No, their ears are like cups, and through these cups, they're drinking this nectar, this Adharamrit of Krishna. When Krishna is playing on his flute, what is he distributing? He is actually distributing the nectar of his lips. Adhar Amrit. When he's playing on his flute, he's filling the holes of the flute with this nectar. And then that nectar is being distributed to everyone. And even the cows are listening to it. And what happens when they're chewing grass? They cannot even fully chew the grass. It's called cut. They say when they're chewing on it, what happens? It's just coming down their mouths, but they cannot even fully swallow. They're like animals painted in a picture. So the gopis are saying, if we could be like the cows, if we could be like the calves, because the calves, when they're drinking the milk of their mothers, as soon as they listen to Krishna's flute song, what happens? They forget to drink this milk as well. The milk is just flowing down their mouths. So instead the gopis are praying to be all the different living entities in Braj. They're praying to be like the peacocks. Because when the peacocks see Krishna playing on his Vamsi, they start dancing in ecstasy. Because the Pitambar on Krishna's form, Krishna, he is called Meghashyam. He has the complexion of a dark monsoon cloud. And the Pitambar on his darkish form is like what? Is like lightning seen in a cloud. Sometimes you can see flashes of lightning in a row of clouds. So similarly, this Pitambar is like lightning seen in a monsoon cloud. And whenever the peacocks see this lightning, they become very enlightened. So when they see Krishna like this, with this Pitambar, they become mad in ecstasy and they start dancing. And Krishna's playing on his flute. And then what do the peacocks do? They leave one of their feathers behind. Because they're so happy with Krishna, they feel they're indebted to him. So they leave one of their feathers behind. And what does Krishna do? He takes that peacock feather and he puts it on his head. Or mukut. And then the peacocks are so happy. Oh, he's accepting what we have to offer. And Krishna also, if you see, his peacock feather is tilted to the left. Why? Why is his peacock feather tilted to the left? Because of Radharani. Radharani is on his left. So he's saying that, oh Radharani, even this gift that the peacocks have offered to me, I am offering to your lotus feet. I will not accept anything from anyone independently without you. Anything that I accept will only be under your anugatya, under your guidance. So then they say his peacock feather is tilting to the left. So in this way, in that Purvarag, the gopis are relishing all these different forms of separation. So for this, the sadhaks have adhikar. For this Purvarag, not for any other kind of separation. We don't have the qualification to understand what man is, what Prem Vaichitya is, what Pravas is. We don't have that adhikar. Why? Because we haven't seen Krishna in the first place. Man, Prem Vaichitya, Pravas, they only take place once one has seen Krishna and one has met him, and then when Krishna leaves, that kind of separation can be had. So the sadhakas, they have adhikar for this Purvarag. And how will they develop this separation called Purvarag? How? By listening to the pastimes of Krishna. By listening about his Naam, his Roop, his Guna, his Leela. Then gradually this greed arises, this lobha. Oh, when can I serve Krishna like the gopis? The gopis serve Krishna in such a way that Krishna says, Napareham niravatya samvijam sadhakritta vibhuda ayusha pima. Yoma bhaja durjarageya shrinkala samvricha pratiyatu sadhana. Krishna is saying, oh gopis, even if I had a lifetime of Brahma, vibhuda ayusha piva, I could not repay this debt of yours. So kindly, out of your compassion, relieve me of this debt. Relieve me of this burden. So when any sadhak listens to this, then he'll also have a greed. When can I serve Krishna like the gopis? So this is called Purvarag. And then gradually he starts developing this mood of viraha, separation. But here, Gurudev says you cannot directly jump think of having separation from Krishna. First think of having separation from the devotees, from Sri Guru. Then you can hope to cultivate that separation more and more, and then it will be for Mahaprabhu, all his associates, and then Radha and Krishna. Or else, without even feeling separation from Sri Guru, then how can you hope to have separation from Radha and Krishna? The Gurudev would say, let's say you're organizing a huge festival for the disappearance of your Guru, of your spiritual master. You're organizing a huge festival, you've spent so many lakhs of rupees for all the different arrangements in the festival. You've made 56 kinds of items. You have invited so many different personalities, they're all coming to the temple. You're welcoming so many people. You have decorated the entire temple in such a nice way. That's all good. It's not bad. But at the end of the day, have you shed even one tear in separation from your spiritual master, from Sri Guru? One tear at least, saying, oh Prabhu, I miss you so much. Because Sri Guru, he is like the pole star in the disciple's life. Means he gives light to the disciple, guides him at every step of his journey. So one remembering at least Sri Guru's qualities, at least thinking how great he is, at least he has shed one tear for the entire part of the day. If there is no tear, then what is the use then? So similarly here, first develop separation from Sri Guru. Then hope to have separation from Radha and Krishna. So this is Purva Rag. Purva means the stage which is prior to cultivating Rag. So then we see the next stage of separation is called Man. Because Krishna, he is going to describe all these things to all the queens, headed by Satyabhama and Rukmini. What is Man? Man means, it said, Man bears the movement, the crooked movement of a snake. How does a snake move? It moves in a very crooked way. If you see a snake, it like goes like this, like this, like this. It can now go straight. Like this, like this, like this. So Man is very crooked. What is Man? It is being very sulky. It is sulkiness. Sulkiness means that Radharani, sometimes she feels that, why does Krishna go to Chandravali? So here it is not that Radharani is being envious of Chandravali. We must be very careful. Normally, we see that in the Dwarka Leela of Krishna, when Krishna gave this Parijat flower to Rukmini, Satyabhama became envious. Saying, why did he give me that flower? Why did he give to Rukmini in front of everyone? Now everyone thinks Rukmini is most dear to Krishna, not me. So here we see there is some envy. But even this envy is transcendental. It is not mundane. But in the Gopis' Leelas with Krishna, here when Radharani thinks, why is Krishna going to meet with Chandravali? Then why does she show some discontentment? Why? Because she is thinking that Chandravali has this mood of being Tadiya. Radharani thinks, Chandravali thinks that I am Krishna's. So therefore her service to Krishna cannot overpower him. She cannot serve Krishna like how he wants her to serve. Like sometimes when Chandravali is in Man and Krishna approaches her, then Chandravali, what will she do? First, she will not speak to Krishna. She will just keep her head down. And when Krishna tries entering the Kunja, then Chandravali may say something a little strong, saying, oh, you must just go back from where you came from. But then, as soon as Krishna speaks some pleasing words, then Chandravali's Man is broken. Her Man is broken, then she will be with Krishna. But Radharani's Man is Durjay Man. Durjay means this Man is very great. It is very difficult to conquer this Man. Krishna, he has to fall at the feet of Srimati Radhika. He has to offer his peacock feather at the Lord's feet of Srimati Radhika. He has to offer his flute at the feet of Srimati Radhika. And he must promise to Srimati Radhika that from now on, I will never look at the face of any other gopi besides you. And then he even has to sign a declaration. Lalita, she brings a paper and she gives to Krishna and she says, all right, now sign. Saying, I will never go to anyone else except you. And then what do? They make Krishna paint the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. No, Radharani's feet is covered by this alta, this lac, which is red in color. So then Krishna, what does he do? He takes this alta and he starts painting Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. So this is called Madhyata. So Radharani thinks, why is Chandravali so submissive to Krishna? She must not be so submissive. Sometimes she must stop Krishna from approaching her. She must be strong. She must be bold. Pragalpa. Because Chandravali, she is called a Mridvi Nayika. There are three kinds of Nayikas. Pragalpa, Madhya and Mridvi. So Pragalpa means very bold, very outspoken Nayika. And who is this? This is Lalita, Shyamala Sakhi. They are very bold. What did Lalita say? Durte Vrajendra Tanayas Tanushishtamamyam. Saying, oh Radharani, don't look at this Vrajendra Tanay Krishna. He is Durta. He is a debauchee. Send him away from here. Reject him. This is bold. And Madhya Nayika is Radharani. So Radharani, she is neither to Pragalpa nor to Mridvi. She is in the middle. And Mridvi is a very soft-spoken Nayika. Means if Krishna were to approach her and speak like a lot of sweet words, then her heart will melt, she will forgive Krishna. So Chandravali is at that stage. So Radharani is thinking, why is Chandravali so sweet, so mild-natured? She should become a little tough with Krishna. Chandravali is thinking like this. And Radharani is thinking like this. And what does Chandravali think? She thinks, why is Radharani so hard-hearted? I have heard from one of my Sakhis that Krishna is falling at the feet of Srimati Radhika. He is asking for forgiveness repeatedly, but still Radharani is not accepting him. She wants him to leave. How can Radharani be so hard-hearted? Chandravali is thinking on one side. So this is Madhyata on one side and this is Dadyata on one side. So here when Radharani thinks, why is Krishna going to Chandravali? It is not that she is envious of her. Rather, she is only thinking that if Krishna goes to Chandravali, then she cannot serve him like how I do. Because when I serve him, when I show this mood of being Bhamya, of being very contrary, then Krishna relishes that prem more and more, more and more, more and more. But if one is Dakshinya, submissive, Krishna is not so much controlled by that prem. No. Like why did Krishna leave the Ras Leela when he was with Srimati Radhika? Why? Because when Radharani was with Krishna, she uttered this verse. Ha nata ha ramana preshta kwasi kwasi man mahabhuja. Dasaste kripanaya me sake darshaya sannidhim. She told Krishna, ha nata, ha ramana, ha preshta kwasi kwasi mahabhuja. Oh my beloved, oh Krishna who is so strong, mahabhuja. Dasaste kripanaya me. Kindly be merciful to this dasi. Me sake darshaya sannidhim. Kindly give darshan to this dasi of yours. So when Radharani started showing this Dakshinya bhav towards Krishna in the Ras Leela, then Krishna, he did not like this mood of Radharani. Because he's only used to Radharani's Bhamya bhav, her leftist mood. No, he doesn't like this mood of Radharani being submissive. So therefore he left the Ras Leela, saying, I don't like this mood of Radharani. And only when Radharani became contrary, when Krishna reappeared from where he was hiding, then Radharani, what did she do? From far she was looking at Krishna and she was piercing him with her sidelong glances. The other gopis, they were massaging Krishna's feet, they were feeding Krishna their remnants of their own betel nut. They kept their hands on Krishna like this, they were somehow trying to caress him, dusting his body, whatever dust was there. But Radharani, she was standing at a distance and looking at him with very crooked glances. So then when Krishna witnessed this change in Radharani's behavior, then he became very happy. Then he said, yes, this is this Bhamya bhav that I desire to relish. And then the Ras Leela began. So you see here how important these bhavs are. So therefore we see that this is called Man. And Man is also two kinds. Ahaituk and Haituk. Haituk Man means causeless. And Haituk means with a cause. Like sometimes Krishna, he appears in Radharani's Kunja and he has some reddish marks all over his body. Means there are signs of his meeting with another gopi. So when Radharani looks at Krishna, then she addresses him. Oh Neel Lohita Rudra. Neel Lohita Rudra means Shankar who has this bluish complexion, bluish and reddish complexion. So he tells Krishna that how can you have this complexion and how dare you appear in front of me in this way? It means you've been with another gopi the previous night and then you're coming to me here early in the morning. Go away from here. And then Radharani, she becomes very sulky. So this is called Haituk Man, means there is a cause. And then there is Ahaituki Man. Ahaituki man means man which is causeless. Means for no reason Radharani she enters into man. For no reason she becomes sulky. For no reason. Like Krishna, he has not been with any other gopi. He has not been with anyone else. He has appeared at the appropriate time. But Radharani becomes sulky. So this kind of man sometimes can be pacified. But this Haituki man with a cause, that cannot be pacified so easily. That cannot be. But this kind of man can. So this is the second form of separation. What was the first form? What was it called? Purvarag. No, the first kind of separation is called Purvarag. Second kind of separation is man, sulkiness. And the third kind of separation is Prem Vaichitya. So Prem Vaichitya we say means this very special form of Prem, where even in the direct presence of Krishna, the Naika, that is Radharani, she feels separation from him. Even when she is in his direct presence. So where did this happen? In which place? Yeah. And where did that take place? That place, what is it called? The place where that whole Leela took place, that with that bumblebee. It is near Barsana. What is it? Prem Sarovar. We see in Prem Sarovar, Radharani was lying on Krishna's lap, and then there was a bumblebee. It was hovering around Radharani's lotus feet, because the bumblebee thought that Radharani's lotus feet is like a flower, and he wanted to enter inside that feet. So then what did Madhumangal do? He took a stick and he chased that bee away. And he said, now I've chased Madhusudan away. So Madhusudan means one who relishes this madhu, honey. So this is one name of a bumblebee. Also Madhusudan means Krishna, because he is always relishing the sweet prem of the gopis. So he is also called a bumblebee. So this way when Radharani heard that Madhusudan has chased the bumblebee away, then she felt so much separation that she started calling out to Krishna. Oh Prananath, oh Pran Bandhu, Krishna, where are you, where are you? And she fell unconscious on Krishna's lap. And she is lying there on Krishna's lap. So this is called Prem Vaichitya. And then the fourth form of separation is called Pravas. Pravas means when Krishna, he leaves his place of residence to go somewhere else. This Pravas is also of two kinds. Sudur Pravas and Kinchit Dur Pravas. Kinchit Dur, Kinchit means little. Means when Krishna goes cowherding. When he leaves Nandagaon, he goes cowherding to Bandirvan, Kamyavan, Belvan, Bhadravan. He goes to all these different forests, Lohavan. Then Radharani feels so much separation from him. And when he returns in the evening, then her separation is pacified. This is called Kinchit Dur Pravas. And Sudur Pravas means when he goes very far away. Where? Dwaraka and Mathura. When he goes to Mathura and Dwaraka, there is Sudur Pravas. So then, there are four kinds of separation. And corresponding to the four kinds of separation, there are also four kinds of meeting. The first kind of meeting is called Sankirna Milan. Sankirna Milan means the meeting is very short. It is not long. Means Radha and Krishna and the gopis meet each other and they are very happy and it lasts for a few moments, not more than that. And then there is Sankshipta Milan. Sankshipta Milan means meeting which is more prolonged. Means they are relishing that meeting more and more. And then there is Samriddhiman Milan. Samriddhiman Milan means that as and when Krishna appears after this long period of separation, then the gopis are relishing this meeting more and more. And then the Sampurna Milan. Sampurna Milan means the most complete form of meeting. When Krishna returns from Mathura and Dwaraka, when the gopis meet him. So in this way, there are these kinds of meeting and separation. And depending on these kinds of meeting and separation, all the different stages of prem, they evolve more, more and more. So then here we are seeing that when Padmavati was chastising Rukmini, so when Padmavati was chastising Rukmini and everyone else, saying, all you queens, you are so inferior to the gopis. In fact, if all you queens would go to the forest and perform austerities to become the maidservants of these gopis, then you must know that your lives are successful. So when Padmavati spoke these words to the queens of Dwarika, was she speaking the truth or was she speaking a lie? She was actually speaking the truth. When she was saying that all of you should go to the forest and perform austerities to become the maidservants of these gopis is actually right. It is not wrong. It's sarcasm, but still it goes right. It's called Vyanga Ukti in Sanskrit. It means it is Vyanga. It means it is sarcastic, but it is right. So therefore, when she spoke these words, then Rukmini, she said, yes, what you said is true. These gopis are so glorious, they can control Krishna. They can control him, they can bind him by their love, but we cannot do so. No. Rukmini is saying, in spite of us being qualified in all the 64 kinds of arts, meant to please one's beloved, still we cannot please him. He's only thinking about the gopis. He's only weeping in separation from him. In fact, he does not even arise from his bed for so many days. For 3-4 days, 5-6 days, he's only lying on his bed. And he covers his face with a cloth and he's just weeping and weeping and weeping. So therefore, what you're saying, Padmavati, is true. And Rukmini started glorifying the gopis. Devaki also, the mother of Krishna, she also started glorifying the gopis, saying, yes, my son is feeling so much separation from them. But as and when the gopis were being glorified, there was one personality who became very, she became a little envious. Who was that? That was Satyabhama. Because Satyabhama, she actually is said to be a manifestation of Srimati Radhika herself. So amongst all the queens of Krishna, she has this Maumya Bhav. Means she can sometimes even speak rudely to Krishna. She can even chastise Krishna sometimes. No, not all the times, because here we see that the queens, they're following etiquette, they're following sadachara. No. Because there is Swakya Bhav. Gopis have Parakya Bhav. The queens are wedded to Krishna. So even though sometimes Satyabhama may say something strong to Krishna, still she always knows her position, that I'm like a maidservant of Krishna. Krishna is always maintaining me, he's my husband. But with the gopis, is that the case? Is Krishna maintaining the gopis? Never. In fact, the gopis, they maintain him. Now, when we utter this verse, during Katyayani Vrat, Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogini Adishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. So here, the explanation we understand is that Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. That this Devi, Dutamana, Srimati Radhika herself, she maintains us. Patimme Kurute Namaha. Now, in Katyayani Vrat we heard this explanation for like 1 month. Every day we would listen to the explanation of this mantra. Do we remember or not? At least something. Patimme Kurute Namaha. Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. So here, this Devi, she is addressed as Pati, not Nandagopa Sutta. Normally their general understanding is, may we have the son of Nandagopa as our husband. Patimme Kurute Namaha. But the Vaishnavas have given an even deeper explanation which says, Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. May that Devi of Nandagopa Sutta, may Srimati Radhika be our Pati, be the maintainer of our lives. But an even deeper explanation was given that Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. May we be the maintainers of them. Means may we serve them. May we arrange for these leelas between Radha and Krishna. Not that they maintain us. Because no devotee desires that their Ishtadev or Ishtadevi like Radha and Krishna come and maintain them. Rather they desire that they wish to serve Radha and Krishna in all their Leela Vilas. This is called Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha. So here, Satyabhama, they are all situated in Dasyavas. They don't even have this Parakya. So here you see, the gopis, they are not maintained by Krishna. Rather, they are maintaining Krishna by their love, by their prem. Because Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha means what? They are maintaining him. Not that he is maintaining them. In the Raslila, Krishna sometimes he puts his hand around the neck of the gopis like this, his 2 hands like this. He puts his 2 hands around the neck of the gopis and he starts dancing. So what does this imply? Like sometimes you see like a baby, what does a baby do? A baby catches hold of his mother like this with his 2 hands. So he catches hold of the neck of his mother. with two hands like this, a baby. So why does the baby do this? Because the baby wants something from the mother. The baby wants some love, some affection from the mother. Similarly, when Krishna is holding the neck of the gopis with his two hands like this, what does he want? He wants something. What is it? He's saying, please deliver me. Please deliver me from this ocean. What is that ocean? Not the ocean of material existence, samsara. He's saying, please deliver me from this ocean of prem, this prem sagar. Kindly maintain my life with your prem. So here he is maintained by the gopis. But in Dwarika, Krishna, he maintains the queens. The queens are maintained by him. So they are like in Dasyaras. While here it is exactly the opposite. The gopis, they maintain Krishna. Because they are ekanishta. They are one-pointed in their prem. Their prem is wholly and solely for Krishna. Not even for their own bodies, not even for their own forms. They can't even maintain their own lives. In fact, they decorate themselves only to satisfy Krishna. Only for this reason. Like Gurudev, he explains this kirtan of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, where Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying, Chanchala jivana shota pravahiya, kalera sagare dhai, geloja divas nasi vayar ebe Krishna ki upai. So what is the meaning here? Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying, Chanchala jivana shota pravahiya, kalera sagare dhai. Oh Krishna, every passing of the day and every passing of the night, my life is going away, entering into this ocean. Geloja divas nasi vayar ebe Krishna ki upai. Means with every day I'm becoming old, I'm dying. So this is the general meaning. But what is the deeper meaning? The deeper meaning is Bhaktivedanta Thakur is actually praying in the form of a gopi, in the mood of a gopi. As Kamal Manjari he is praying. What is he saying? He's saying, Chanchala jivana shrota pravahiya kalera sagare dai geloja divas nasi vayar ebe Krishna ki upai. He's saying, oh Krishna, every day my beauty is leaving me. My youthfulness is leaving me. So if my youthfulness leaves me and if my beauty leaves me, then how can I please you? How can I satisfy you? Because if I'm no longer beautiful, then how can I ever serve you like how I'm supposed to serve you? So Bhaktivedanta Thakur is actually praying in this mood of Kamala Manjari. So the gopis, their very lives are only meant for the service of Krishna. Their beauty, their forms and everything. This is the highest ideal of selfless prem. The prem of the gopis. So here we see that in the Dwarka queens, this mood is a little lacking. We should not minimize their position, but it is lacking in them. So therefore Krishna, when he heard from Uddhav, he asked Uddhav, where is Satyabhama? Because when he wanted to glorify the gopis, he especially wanted Satyabhama to listen to his glorification. Because Satyabhama was a little proud. She was proud of her nature, that I can control Krishna. But Krishna wants Satyabhama to know that your prem is like very, your prem is not as much as the prem of the gopis. It is very less. So he wants her to come especially. So he asked Uddhav, where is she? Where is Satyabhama Uddhav? And she said, oh, she's in the Kopa Bhavan. She's in the anger room. She's very sulky. Because all the gopis are being glorified in her presence, she has entered into that room and she wants to be pacified by you. She wants Krishna to enter that room and speak sweet words to her and pacify her. So when Krishna heard this from Uddhav, he became so angry. What did he say? He said, tell that foolish daughter of Satyajit to come back here. How dare she walk away from this assembly when I'm going to glorify the gopis? He addressed her as the foolish daughter of Satyajit. Because he is implying to say that her father is also foolish and her daughter is also foolish. Both are foolish. We discussed this previously, why Satyajit was considered foolish. Because he blamed Krishna when the Shamantak jewel was stolen. So here he's saying, bring her back here. Or she can leave from here. She can go back to her residence and never come back to Dwaraka. So then, when Satyabhama appears before Krishna, she is very humble. She is very meek. Can Krishna ever speak like this to Srimati Radhika? Have we heard even once, or has it been described in the Shastras even once, that Krishna has chastised Srimati Radhika? Have you heard even once? Never. No, you never heard that Krishna has chastised Radharani even once. But here we see how Krishna is chastising Satyabhama. In fact, Radharani chastises Krishna, saying, go away from here. Don't want to look at you. Don't want to see your face as well. Like sometimes Radharani says, oh Radhe. And Radharani says, who are you? He says, I am Chakri, means I hold the Sudarshan Chakra. Then Radharani says, oh, there's no need for a potter here. Because in Sanskrit, Chakri also means one who makes pots. So go away from here, I don't need a potter, Kumbhar. Sometimes Radharani appears and she says, Krishna, he appears to Radharani, he says, oh, I am Hari. Who are you? I am Hari. So Radharani, Hari means two things, a lion and a monkey. He says, oh, you're Hari, it means you're a lion. Have you come to attack me? Go away from here. Or are you a monkey? Do you want to break some things in my house? Go away from here. I don't want to look at you. So here Radharani is chastising Krishna. So in this way, this is the prem of the gopis, always controlling him. So this way, Krishna, he wants Satyabhama to relish. He wants all the Dwarkavasis to know how glorious the moods of the gopis are. And from here, his conversation is going to begin. And he's going to glorify the gopis more and more, more and more. So, we'll do that another day. So this is what Gurudev came to give. This is what he came to give. Such gravity is present in his teachings. This is that prem. This prem is like the fathomless ocean. Cannot be measured, the depth of this ocean. So if we claim to be the followers of Gurudev, we claim to be his disciples, no, we must at least try. These things are beyond us, no? They're beyond our adhikar. Because presently we are fighting with our own anarthas. But still, at least we must have some kind of greed. Even if not greed, some semblance of a greed. Saying, when will that day come? That when even I can experience at least little of these bhavas in my heart. Or else, this period that we are passing is very crucial, is very critical. Because from this point, we can either go up or we can go down. It is a very critical juncture. Very critical. If we are not careful, we can fall away from this path. And if we are really careful, really sincere, then we can advance further from this path. It's a very critical time, the stage of anartha and everything. We can either go this way or we can go this way. We can either fall away from because of our anarthas or we can proceed to nishtha, to ruchi. Gurudev says, try at least for ruchi in one life. Try to have this taste for chanting Harinam. Try to have this taste to listening to Harikatha. Try to have this taste to try to absorb the mood of the Rajavasi. Then you'll go to Ashakti. So from one point go here or one point go here. What do we choose? Obviously go in the direction of Braj. No. Gurudev would say, give me one life. You give me one life and see how far I'll take you. This I heard. The devotees, they were saying that one person, Gurudev was going to give him sannyas. And this person, he was a little anxious, he was a little nervous. Because sannyas is such a huge step. So then Gurudev, he sensed that anxiety within him and he told him very gravely. He looked at him into his eyes and he said, give me one life and see how far I'll take you, he told this person. He gave him sannyas. So this is not only for him, this is for each and every one of us who are sitting here. When Gurudev told that to that one person, give me one life, see how far I'll take you, he was not telling only that person. He was telling each and every one of us here, give me one life, see how far I'll take you. So are we ready to offer that one life of ours to him? That we must ask our own selves. This way we'll stop here, it's getting late. So Shri Brihat Bhagavatamrit ki jai, Sanatan Goswami Pad ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Rupanakariya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Brahmadev Rupa Rupanakariya Guru Varga ki jai. Tam Devotee Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samay Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nidai Gaur